Hi.
Hi.
Like the hat.
I like the hat too. I got an autographed photo of you. It's like you and your computer, and you like shaved, and like it's got all your characters. And I got it from a friend, and they said they're like your distant cousin or something. Do you know anyone in your family with the last name Sweeten?
Sweeten? No.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Did they? Sweeten. Did it?
Brian?
Did I write Dear eBay on it?
They said they got it from a relative, so.
Oh.
Or.
Could be. Maybe my family's pimping me out. I have no idea. Get a second job, Steve, but we're going to sell your pictures.
Also, can you do Shishio? If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die.
Again, I don't remember, but if you're strong, you live. Is that close to the voice?
Lower.
Good enough.
It was raspy. It was like.
It was deep.
It was deep.
It was raspy.
Too deep.
A little bit like Spike.
Like Spike?
Yeah.
If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die. Like that? He was on fire a lot. That's all.
I see you again.
Hey, man.
I have a question and a request. The question is, how do you feel about the potential of Keanu Reeves playing?
You know, I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. He booked the role, and he must have booked it for a reason. I think he can certainly pull it off physically. I think it would be a really good exercise for him to stretch out, because he's got to hit some highs and lows that he, may not have done with some of his other characters. Who am I to say that? I'm not an on-camera guy, so my biggest hope is that it brings a whole new audience to Bebop. And so, at first I had probably the same reaction that everybody else did, which is pretty much, but, I just, Watanabe-san created something that I felt was perfect, and to mess with that after the fact when he stopped Bebop for a very good reason. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about it. I just hope he does a good job, and I hope that the fans, give it a chance. That's all.
Thank you. And my request is, can you do the infamous Cowboy Bebop line, the final line, bang?
Sure.
Wait, hold on.
It's only one word. I can...
Here we go.
Bang.
When you did that Cowboy Bebop movie, was it odd resurrecting your character?
Oh no, I was so glad to get that. It was so exciting. I always love doing things in longer format anyway. It gives us a chance to flesh things out a little bit. And everybody in the cast, it was one of those shows. In anime, we work by ourselves in the studio. It's basically just the actor and the director. But when I went back in to do that, I remember calling my friends who were also on the cast and saying, guess what we're doing? And it kind of became the community event again. And it's such a love fest. We all loved the show so much. And all the elements of the show were there. The great music was there, and the great cinematics, and the pacing, and the characters. Everything just sort of fell into place. So yeah, it was like a dream come true. I wish it could happen again. So.
I do have a second question. Is there anybody on Cowboy Bebop that you just didn't really like working with, or?
Well, again, it's a it's a very solo kind of journey doing that. It's just me, the director, and the engineer. And director Mary Elizabeth is one of my best friends. So, and the engineers also. I mean, we're all a bunch of friends. We're family, basically, in the anime community. And that's one of the reasons I don't like to do on-camera stuff, is because the anime community is so great on this side of it and on the other side of it. Everybody is really close, and they're real people and really decent folks. So there really isn't anybody I've ever had a problem with, fortunately. But I'm drunk most of the time too, so. Hey man, welcome back.
Request.
Yeah.
Earlier, when Cheshire Cat was up here, she said she squealed like a little girl when X-Men, or Wolverine and the X-Men came out, and you said you did too. Can we all hear you squeal like a little girl?
Well, Jamie from Megas did all the time. You know, yeah, that felt good. I can usually go higher, but then we'll, throat, Vegas, cigarettes, whiskey. Thank you. Yeah, all at the same time.
Hi again.
Hi again.
I just want to say first you mentioned Mary Elizabeth. She is an awesome voice.
She is awesome, isn't she? She was here, right?
Yeah, she was here the last 2 years.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, big round of applause.
I have 2 questions. The first one is, ballpark figure about how many cons do you think you've attended since you've become a voice actor?
It's a good question. I've only been doing cons for probably the last 5 years. So I haven't done as many as like Vic Mignogna, who does 1-3 times a week. I've probably done a couple dozen by now, I guess.
Okay. And of all the cons that you've attended in those years, do you have any particular favorite con moments or worst moments that you feel like sharing with us?
Wow. Bye. Thanks for partying. Wow, favorite con moment. Well, it's, everyone is a little bit different. It's just, I'll tell you one that was really amazing, actually. I was in New Zealand a few years ago, and this big Maori guy came up to me, and he had the tattoos. He was probably 350, 400 pounds, and his wife was tattooed up, and kind of an intimidating-looking character. And he came up to me, and he started telling me that his son had Asperger's syndrome, and for the first few years of his life, he just sort of sat in a corner, couldn't really connect with the family, and he was watching some anime, I think it was Digimon or something, and all of a sudden something clicked in his head, and he called the parents over to watch it with him, and he said it was the first moment that the whole family actually watched something together. And since then, they started watching other anime, Naruto and some of the other shows that I'd been in, and this huge, scary-looking man with a thing through his nose started crying in front of me. And we sat there and cried together, and the next day he brought the kids. He brought his kids, and we just had this moment where we hugged and we cried, and it was one of the most profound things I've ever been through, and it sort of made all of this worthwhile, if it wasn't enough already. So, yeah, that's probably most touching. Sure. Yeah. Wow, thank you. Wow. Okay, look at that, guys. Did you just do that now?
Yes.
Wow, look at that. You made me look young, too. I'm keeping that and framing it. Sweet. Thank you.
Okay, me again. Question and a request. Okay, there's a lot of stardom and idol worship in the business you do. I mean, we all looked up to you as a fan, but who do you look up to?
Good question. For me, especially lately, working on the bigger shows, I get to work with a lot of celebrities nowadays, and my favorites are really the voice actors who I've been following, because they do what I do and they do it better. And just sitting in the same room with people like Tom Kenny, he's my latest hero. SpongeBob, for those of you who don't know, this guy is unbelievably talented and a million voices. He can do anything. He's incredible. Phil Lamar is amazing. John DiMaggio, Kevin Michael Richardson. I mean, there's this group of voice actors who I've been following for years who are just incredible. Frank Welker, the guy who does every animal you've ever heard of.
Great actor.
I got to work with Frank on Scooby-Doo, and that was like a fanboy's dream come true. I played an Australian character that kind of came and went in a few episodes, and some, I don't know, a baseball guy or something. I was some monsters. I just did a few things for What's New Scooby-Doo, but to sit in the same room with him and watch him create Scooby's voice and some of these things is amazing. And then I got to meet Mark Hamill recently. That's amazing talent. And LeVar Burton recently. Every day I'm in a position now where I'm going to the studio and I just sit there. Oh my God. Charlie Adler. I'm working on a show with Charlie Adler now. It's really incredible. Cow and Chicken and a million other things. Yeah. So it's pretty much the voice actors that I really go crazy for, and the on-camera actors that are really good at voiceover. There's a lot of on-camera actors they'll bring in just because they're who they are and they have no idea how to handle a microphone or how to create a character without makeup and hair and $20 million. So, to see these guys who are willing to come in and work at scale the same rates that we do, and they just knock it out of the park. Those are the guys I really admire.
All right. And for my request, can you do the Tom farewell speech for Toonami?
Oh, I don't know if I have it. I don't have that.
I have an iPhone, I'll look it up.
Yeah? You remember? Well, then you do it.